Got Ryan Garcia against Duarte. Aggressive style, good style for your fighter, though.
Right. I mean, Duarte's a heck of a fighter. You know what I mean? He's comes with a lot of tenacity. He's a tough fighter, and he's a fighter, like a fighter's fighter. So I mean, this will be a good fight.
Ryan's always had these incredible physical gifts. Punches hard, super fast, tall. So how much do you think some of your trademarks as a trainer, high guard, disciplined jab, just that alone, how much do you think that can grow him as a fighter, make him better?
I think it could help him, and I think that it takes him to the next level of a skill set, because he's at the highest from a celebrity and a boxing level. But I think that the more and more we get together, the more and more we work, the more and more skill set will be enhanced.
Derrick, having him in your camp now, having him for a couple of months now, what have you adjusted or helped him adjust, coming, from Goose or the training that he had previously versus Tank? What's the little things that you adjusted? Because I know I've seen you in the videos, just using his jab more, using his angles a little bit more, going back to the foundations, really.
Well, really, I can't really get into that other than what you saw. But what I'll say is that he's good, man. He's gonna be working. He's got working on a skill set and being continuous instead of having dead time and space in between. We'll hopefully create everything we need to do.
You were a fighter, obviously. What have you told Ryan, coming off that loss versus Gervonta? Because, some fighters do beat themselves up. It's hard to bounce back. And mentally, they're like, I have a lot at stake.
Right.
Duarte right now has 21 knockouts. That has 26 fights. It's a tough fight. What have you told him?
It's in the past. You can't live in it because you can't move forward if you're stuck in that particular space. That's real life. So don't worry about it. Keep it moving and just stay focused. And that's basically what he's been doing.
Did you see things that you already talked about him with in the Gervonta fight? It seemed like he was doing well for a round and a half and went kind of crazy, gave up his height.
Right. I never referenced that because that's in the past. I mean, I don't want him to live in that space.
Right.
I want him to move forward. I mean, we have conversations all the time, and so much about boxing instead of yelling and being demanding. He's like, no, I'm just talking to him, and he understands what I want him to do.
There's a lot of fights potentially for Ryan after this one. I know you don't look ahead, fighters don't look ahead, but there's always the rumblings and the talkings. Oscar Duarte has mentioned possibly even getting a fight in February for Super Bowl. What fight interests you the most? There's the Broly fight, there's the Teofimo, then we also have the winner of those Regis and Progress. It could be easier to make due to the networks. What fight is the one that you're like, yeah, this is the one that I like the most?
Hey man, I want what he wants because I don't really do that part. I don't do the picking of the opponents and everything. I want what he wants and I go from there. So whatever it is that he wants, whatever he desires, that's what we go at.
Does any part of you want to say, look, let's take it slow, man? Why the rush to jump right back into a big fight? Let me get some fights with you.
Well, I think that, yeah, I mean, in the perfect world, that would be what I could say. But in reality, it's like you get a guy who's at the highest level, right? He just comes off a world championship bout. You take a fight like this, it's not really, you just got to start rolling. Keep rolling and keep work with the skill set and enhance it because you can't really, there's no going back in boxing. When you get so far ahead, you got to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between boxing and so many other things that you can go start over or do whatever. Boxing, you got to keep rolling, so I have to keep doing my thing.
Is this the most, not necessarily skilled, but the most gifted fighter you've worked with, speed and power? Just that natural talent.
Man, everybody's equal. Everybody's like similar. They just don't show it all the time. But no, I think everybody's equal. You know what I mean? I think everybody's equally fast, power. Yeah, I mean, so I don't. It's like kids, man. What you talking about, man? You trying to start something?
No, that's always
kids. Yeah, which one's your favorite child?
Yeah.
Man, they all the same.
Yeah. Always the first one.
I love them all the same.
You won Trainer of the Year last year, and now this year, things have been tough in some big fights.
It's life.
Yeah. How do you respond?
You gotta keep it moving.
1 minute they build you up, the next minute.
Well, it really is like it really isn't the 1 minute they didn't do anything. I did it.
Right.
With my consistency.
Built yourself up. Right.
Winning, Errol winning 11 years in a row. Jamel been the champ for 8 years. Errol been the champ for 7 years. Have been the only champion in the world for the last 4 years with 2 unified champs. Then Jamel became undisputed. So nobody did nothing. Nobody built me up. I did it myself with the work that I put in. So in reality, I think that when people say, how do you win trainer of the year? Just look, being so consistent. You know Jamel Charlo, you know Errol Spence? It's because of Jamel been the champ for 8 years, Errol's been the champ for 7 years, and even before then with Rob Brandon took him to #1 contender, then he became champ after that. But I wasn't with him in the corner, but took him to #1 contender. So it's like, and being consistent. So when people say that, like, hey man, I don't care because nobody built me up. I did it.
What are the highs and lows like though, if
It's
at all?
life.
Or you?
It's not put like this.
Yeah.
It's life. You think about this, and getting where you want to be, and getting. Hey man. I just. I'm not. I saw it. Hey. So listen, but and getting where you want to be is always is life. You know what I mean? Everybody. If you think about this, I took a loss, then a win, then a loss. So what happens is this: is that people lose every day. So if I take a loss 1 month after the other, 2 in 1 year, that's unfortunate, but it's the game, it's the life. I mean, what do you say? I'm not crying about it. Because when Errol lost to Crawford, I had to go do with Joshua 2 weeks later.
Right.
I had to leave the next day to go do that, and I had to let it go. You got to compartmentalize this situation and keep it moving.
Derrick, just talking about Errol,
Right.
the big talks about it is, now Showtime's being gone.
Right.
What's going to happen with the rematch? What's the talks about? I know you always say, I leave that
I
for
don't
fighters
know.
when
I don't
they
know
tell
anything
me.
about it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know nothing.
Not even a hint of maybe going to the rematch at 154.
Oh, I mean that part. I mean, I'm sure they already signed that or whatever. But I don't know anything about that either.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know what they talk about.
At 154, what can we expect from Spence? Facing Crawford.
You'll see him. He won't be so drained. He won't be so depleted or whatever. I mean, you'll see. That wasn't the issue. You know what I'm saying? Crawford fought a good fight. He had a great game plan, right? And so give it to him by his coach. So it's not like, he was the better guy that day. It's
And even going back to the fight that you're mentioning with Charlo and Canelo, do you feel like maybe if Charlo probably had maybe another fight or 2 fights at 168, we could have expected a different outcome when he faced Canelo?
I mean, I don't know. I think that it's a question he'd have to answer. But I think that it's life. I mean, life's happening. You know what I mean? Like you step up to big situations. I mean, the people who lose are the people who don't step up. The people who lose are, if you think about this, when people say you had a bad day, how many people had a bad day and made the most money they ever made in their life? So is it really a bad day? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
How many people, right?
Yeah. I see what you're
had a
saying.
bad day, a really bad day, but secured their financial secure for the rest of life. Financing. So it's like, was it really a bad day? So how could you laugh at them? How could you talk about them? How can you talk about anybody in that situation? Because what? These are people doing something people dream of doing.
The big news that just came out, Derrick, flipping the page, the big news that just came out, obviously Showtime leaving boxing. It's kind of like a dagger in the heart for us boxing fans who grew up, like all of us here. HBO is already gone, now Showtime.
Right.
Now, what do you think caused all that? Or where's Showtime, where's it going to go from now, PBC? What do you think? What's your overall thoughts on that?
I don't know, man. I'm not, cause if I don't get into the contracts, I definitely don't get into that. But I mean, Stephen Espinosa is a good friend of mine. We had dinner, right the day after Jamel's fight. I think it was 2 days after. It was the night after Jamel's fight. So, we spent time together, but we never talk about business. We never talk about stuff like that, man. I mean, it's like, I didn't even know until, because I heard speculation of it, but I'm not going to go to somebody and say what I heard. I'm just going to, whatever. If you want me to know, he'll tell me. So, I don't know.
Derrick, and then I guess there was reports that you and Anthony Joshua is going to maybe look at Ben Davison or something. What could you tell us about that, man?
Hey, man.
You went 2-0. You finished undefeated with him. If that's your last
Hey,
fight.
man, people start all these rumors or whatever. I'm not going to even, it's stupid.
So that's just some rumor. That's not even.
Put it like this. I saw somebody report on it, right? And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I know the person who was reporting on it. If they really wanted to know, they could have just called me and asked me. But I think it's better for him or them to report something that's not true than to, because then it's like, we get paid in clicks or whatever. I think that's what it is. So it's better for them to report something that's not true and never have to apologize for, oh, I was wrong.
Right.
And say whatever, so report it. Because if they wanted to know, if they really wanted to know about it, then they could have just asked me.
Are you and AJ still working together then?
Hey man, come on man.
I'm trying to get the bottom line, so there's no more speculation. You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna even, because it's like this. What's funny about it is it doesn't even need to be talked about, because somebody, I don't know, people like this. People made up the Frank Martin. First they made up Errol, then they made up Frank, now it's AJ.
Right.
So tomorrow's gonna be Ryan, obviously, whatever. So I think it's like, leave me out in the cold, man. I mean, you know what? I don't know what to say. You know?
Do you feel like?
I don't know if you saw the video that Deontay Wilder posted up saying that he accepted Anthony Joshua's call for a fight in December if possible. And what is it that you think about that matchup of
well, you know
AJ
what?
and
You know what? I talked to AJ yesterday. I really did, to be honest. And the day before that. He was in Texas for the, he was at the big, the Formula One thing.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's not being trained by you anymore still, then, if he's still talking to you every day.
I talked to him yesterday.
So, how do you think the Wilder would fight go? That would be your third fight together?
I mean, he's a good fighter, man. He's a guy who's he has a lot of power, big puncher. I mean, but it's neither here nor there, because I don't know about him. Remember, I don't train him anymore. He left me. So why would I be telling you? It's Ben Davis' problem. It's not my problem.
Go ask Ben Davis these crazy questions.
Hey man, but really no. I mean, it's crazy, but people gonna speculate. They gonna do whatever, you know. I just, nothing I can do about it. But this what it is. It's not that they want. It's not that these fighters are leaving me. It's that people want these fighters to leave me. That's what
the narrative.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like they said, how did he win trainer here? How the fuck did he not? Hey, how did he not? I just said, last 8 years at a champ, 7 years at 2 champs, last 4 years only trainer in the world of how many, 8 billion people, to have 2 unified champs. And then one guy become undisputed, one guy. So like, what are they talking about?
What would you think of Big Mel getting back to 54, fighting Tim Tszyu? Kind of, probably in your eyes, there's nothing to redeem, but with the boxing public or whatnot, redeeming himself, beating Tim Tszyu.
I think he has to. I mean, I think it's all for himself. You know what I'm saying? So not so much about redeeming for everybody else, because you can't live for the other people.
Right.
But I think at the same time, if he wants to do it for himself, it's on him. If you don't care about Tim Tszyu, you don't care about Tim Tszyu. But if he wants to, go get it.
From what you saw in Tszyu's last fight, did you think to yourself, Mel could still be? You don't watch boxing.
This is what happens. So this is a misconception. I watch the people that we fight, and I watch the big fights. So if he's not fighting a big fight, I may not watch it. I may not see it. But I saw like maybe a little bit of Tony Harrison, like I walked in right when he knocked him out. So I didn't get to see the fight. But so I do watch boxing people. I just don't watch. I'm not gonna watch the fight unless I gotta watch. I mean, if I have to, I'm studying and watching over and over.
What did you think of the fans being like, Jermell showed up to survive, all that?
I mean, I just think that because you can't go back and forth with people about their own personal perspective. They're doing whatever they're doing at home. Because this is what you gotta understand. He is the undisputed champ in a whole nother weight division. So how can you say he's surviving? No, you're surviving because you're not living your dream. He's thriving. Regardless if he lost the fight, you're surviving because you're not doing all of you guys are here with me right now, living y'all dream, doing what y'all want to do. He's skipping school shooting hooky.
I'm gonna have to blur that out.
but at the same time, it's like he's living his dream, even though he came short of something. I'm keeping real with you. Hey, I didn't even look at it like that. but he living his dream. So what? So if that guy's not doing what he needs to be doing, that's on him.
I feel like some of this is that Buddhism, that even-keeled Zen-like.
Yeah, but
like Phil Jackson, you got some Zen master.
I'm 51 years old, man.
Yeah.
Do you think I really care what somebody said about me on the internet? Internet is not really real. It's true. And everybody I see, I interact with, and show me number love. Because it's like when you, cause like somebody said this, somebody said something really bad about me, right? And one of my boys read it. And he said, man, the funny thing about it, if they really knew you, they wouldn't even say nothing like that about you. If they really, really knew you, because if I'm not in a boxing gym, I'm with my nonprofit with the kids, doing this and doing that and taking care of families and feeding people. And so you talk about me, you talking about yourself. Because that's all I care about, how many people you feeding. Listen, how many, if you think about this, in the last, let me see, we had about 11, 12 fights together, right? Errol was champ, defended the belt for how long? So we basically been holding it down for the sport. I mean, 15, 16, I mean, like what? Say you had like 18, 19 world championship bouts in the past 8 to 10 years. Come on, man.
Is that your co-trainer with Ryan now, Sean Garcia?
No, man,
Yeah.
no.
Him got problems.
Yeah. But no, man, so not really. But it's like, so we've been holding it down. So how do you get? So when people say, "How are you training of the year?" Think about the asinine question. You got two fighters fighting for the undisputed championship of the world. They just didn't pull those out of the hat and say, "Well, you gonna choose this guy?" No, it was like, come on, man. They had to work to get you where they were.
And Emmanuel Stewart he lost fights. Buddy McGirt, custom, like all the greats.
All of them
you don't
are.
win every single
Rhodes.
time.
Freddie Rhodes,
Freddie
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
I mean, everybody loses, but I think that in this day and time, hey, it's, you blow somebody up. In their mind, they think that like you say, like they blow you up to be big. And then, like I said, I did it though. It wasn't anything. We worked. The work did it to get to a particular point. Yeah.
Derrick, last one for me before you put me on the spot again.
Let me call it, school. I know it's school.
Let me ask you. We're talking about Terrence Crawford, and he's been very outspoken. Give me your thoughts about him, calling out Canelo or wanting that fight versus Canelo, and even saying or hearing that he would go to 168. What's your thoughts on that fight? Is that reality? Like
It's my
realistic?
first time hearing it. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I have no thoughts about it. I think that he can do what he want to do. I mean, I think that if people didn't think that Jamel would try, Jamel tried. I mean, or they wouldn't even think that Canelo did it, he did it. So I think that you just gotta believe in the individuals. You know what I mean? Like, if he think he can do it, he can do it. I don't have a thought about it because I'm not even on the internet. Only time I'm posting is posting my kids, man, my events I'm doing in the community. That's all I'm talking about. So talk about me then.
Did anything impress you more than you thought with Crawford after going up against him?
I mean, he was what I thought he was. I mean, it wasn't him. It was Errol. It wasn't him. I mean, it wasn't. It was him. It was Errol. It wasn't him. He fought the way, whatever. But yeah.
And lastly, man, I know you don't watch a whole lot of fights, but this fight is in your division for Ryan, Haney, and Prograis. I think Prograis has been down to your gym sometimes to see.
No, but I know him. He's from New Orleans, but he grew up his last couple of years he fought in Texas, so that's where I know him from.
Do you think he wins that fight with Haney?
I think that I really haven't seen him fight as a pro. I've only seen Devin Haney fight like once. I think that the only way I'm gonna enjoy that fight is not to care who wins the fight, because it's on them personally. I can't want somebody they don't want for themselves. So what I'll say to that is, it's on him. If he won it, I want it for him. If Devin Haney won it, I want it for him. I think the award goes to the fans. So, you know what I'm saying? The award goes to the fans.
Thank you, Derrick.
Thanks,
Great catching
Derrick.
up with you,
Thanks.
man.
Good to see
Appreciate
you,
your
Derrick.
time.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.